Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Interesting. Let me look at two other areas and then slowly in housing.
Yeah.
You say state housing company is here you say there are other projects going on. Housing area. One of the biggest complaints that it is called affordable, but it's not.
Ampa.
Mr. Vice President.
Yeah, thank you very much. We hear a manifesto more. The housing sector is where we have tried to attack this thing from a three-pronged approach. Which is, first is that there are a lot of people who cannot buy homes; they can rent, and the rental assistance scheme, the rental assistance scheme, where we are giving loans for people to pay rent, is one of the ways we are dealing with that category of people. Then you also have people who really who are very low income and need housing. And what we haven't focused on, any low income housing. We keep talking about affordable housing, and that tends to be more for the middle class than for the low income. And so what we are doing in this manifesto is shifting the emphasis towards the low income. So a lot of land banks have been procured, and we want to build a lot more low income housing, working with the Building Roads and Research Institute, BRRI. We've already talked to them about designs using local materials for the low income houses, because that then brings down the cost. And these low income houses can also be rented to the low income people. Like, these are housing estates, right? As you have in other countries for low income people, and so you can rent or have rent to own schemes and so on. So that's the second leg of our housing policy. Then the third leg is really to get the mortgage market working for the more of the middle class who can afford it. And so what we are doing there, we're going to ask the State Housing Corporation, for example, working with the private sector, to get a lot more active in that area. So far, they've done very well, State Housing, without any borrowing. They've done a lot of projects, and a bit more capital could see them delivering this. So we have three-pronged approach: the rental assistance scheme, the low-income housing, and the mortgage affordable housing for the middle income.
And we're sure this will solve the problem?
We think that it will. We will definitely on the way to solving the problem. Housing is a challenge. 1.7 million or so deficit that we are dealing with, but we have to start somewhere. But for the longest time, we know government has really recently anyway focused on low income housing, and we need to move into that area.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.